Hello, Facebook friends. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Get Real Tonight, the place to be, to become your best, and thrive in all areas of your life and business. So, in tonight's episode, I have a very special guest who, to be very honest with you, I haven't ever met him in person. However, I came across a recent interview he gave to a radio show. And I was so much inspired by his personal story. And I was even more inspired by what actually he managed to do after he overcame challenging times that he went through throughout his childhood, his teenage years, and later on in his earlier adult life. So tonight I have with me Mark Stephen Puller, who I'm going to bring live now, and I will joining me right now. I want to say who Mark is. So Mark is a professional speaker, a coach, and an author. His area of expertise is self-leadership and transformation. He's passionate and dedicated to inspiring others to overcome their own adversity and find their inner entrepreneur to transform their lives. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Effie. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your show today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for accepting my invite. And it's also amazing that we actually speak to each other than messaging, because I've mentioned that we haven't met in person before, but it's amazing that we first time have a live conversation, the two of us here on Facebook.
Yes, it's great what you can do these days on social media, connecting with people, networking. And I really like what you're about, Effie. I love your social media presence, what you're up to. So it's great to be here with you today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. So I would like, first of all, for you to talk a little bit about your personal story, because I listened to one of the recent interviews you gave, and I was so inspired by what you actually shared. And also, and that's why I wanted to have you tonight with me, because very often we go through challenging times and we don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to make sure that everyone understands that no matter what happens in our lives, no matter how challenged we feel, there's always hope at the end, and we always have an opportunity to turn our lives around. So would you like to share a little bit of your personal story?
I would be happy to, Effie.
Thank
I
you.
was always the guy at school that got bullied about the way I looked, about my sexuality before I even knew it myself. And that was really hard getting bullied about my sexuality at primary school before I knew my sexuality myself. I used to get called big chin, big ears, gay, puff, and that led to me having really low self-esteem, low self-confidence. I didn't have many friends, only girls at primary school. And I purposely went to a secondary school that no one from primary school was going to. And it was great at first. I didn't get bullied. Only that didn't last long, and the bullying was a lot worse. I started to play up at secondary school because I realised by me playing up and making people laugh, it calmed down the bullying. But my education really suffered. I left school with really bad GCSE results before my 16th birthday, and I went straight into hairdressing, which was great because it went from me not having many friends to being surrounded by work colleagues and I learnt some really great business skills. I was working for some of the biggest name hair salons in the UK, and I really built my confidence and learnt customer service skills. But I started to go out clubbing and partying and started to take soft drugs. And it started on softer drugs to start with, things like speed, weed, cannabis, ecstasy, diazepam, and my body started to suffer. I used to go out a lot every weekend, so my body started to suffer. I used to get headaches. I lost a lot of weight. I used to phone in sick for work a lot. And as time passed, my drug addictions got a lot worse. In my late teens, early 20s, I became addicted to crack cocaine and heroin. That's rock bottom. I went out on a clubbing night out with friends, having the time of my life. 1 minute, I tried a new party drug, and the next minute, I woke up in hospital. I just collapsed and died. My heart had stopped. My chest was all shaven where shock pads had been used on me to bring me back to life. Bruises all up my arms where adrenaline had been pumped into me. My life was spiraling out of control. And Effie, you would think that was enough to make me change my ways, right? I'd just been given a second chance at life, and I went straight back out partying and carried on taking ecstasy with all the pads of the heart machine still on my chest. I carried on drug taking. Now, a few days after that, I was still living with my parents. I was 21 years old. I was taking crack cocaine in my bedroom, and my mum caught me taking crack cocaine with a crack pipe. She came into the bedroom, grabbed the crack pipe off me, ran outside with it, chucked it down the drain, and she did one of the best things she could have ever have done for me, and that was to chuck me out of the family home. So it went from me having everything done for me, meals on the table, having my ironing done, to all of a sudden I've got to look after myself now. I got my own first flat and I moved away from the area where I was living. I give up crack cocaine and heroin just by using the power of my mind. That is why it's so important to think about the thoughts, what you're putting into your mind. The mind is so powerful. The power of thought is so powerful. And I didn't go to a doctor. I didn't have any medical help. I literally cold turkeyed and went through the pain of giving up cold turkey. It was a slow road to recovery. I did carry on taking softer drugs after that, but I had got off the really hard, strong drugs. And I was still working in leading name hair salons all through my addiction. I never was one of these drug addicts that didn't go out and work. I managed to keep down a job. And it was a slow road to recovery. But by the age of 30, I had had enough of working for other people, and I left a paid job in a designer hair salon to set up my first business, which was a freelance hairdressing business. You have to take a risk on yourself sometimes in life and go for your dreams. And I took a big risk at the time. I had a mortgage. I left a paid job, having a mortgage, and I set up as a freelance hairdresser. I had great success as a freelance hairstylist. And a year into my hairdressing business, I joined a network marketing company, and that led to me being open to the world of entrepreneurship and personal development. I went from having 300 friends on Facebook to I'm nearly at the maximum amount of people now on my Facebook account. It learnt me the power of networking. It learnt me business skills and how important personal development and investing in yourself is. I built a team of 50 in my network marketing business, and I recruited into 6 different countries. But I used to watch the professional speakers, motivational speakers on the stages, and I realised I'm not following my true passion. My passion is watching speakers share their stories and share their message. So I took another risk, and a year and a half ago, I left my network marketing business and I jumped into becoming a professional speaker. In that time, in the last year and a half, I have become a published author. I have spoken all over the United Kingdom. I appear on radio, television, and I've also built a really successful public speaking coaching business too. And I really believe in the power of people's stories. I think if you have a story, no matter how big or how small that story is, you can use that story to serve others and help others. And that's why I wanted to use my story to help and inspire other people.
Oh my God, this story is amazing. To be honest with you, I heard listened to your interview on a radio show that you gave, and but at that point you did not go into so much detail. And right now, just kind of feel the emotions because I feel that as you were narrating your story, emotions were coming up. That's how I felt because it's your story and it will always make you emotional. And this is something that I also experienced when I share my personal story as well. So I would like to ask you, first of all, before I ask you, I want to thank you so much for sharing this. And I really wish that everyone knows your story because it's so inspiring and it's a great reminder that we can always find our inner strength. We don't need anything else. We just need our inner wisdom to just change our lives. This is the starting point, of course. So, Mark, I would like to ask you, what was the point throughout this journey, if there was one specific point where you felt this is not me? I know that I have more inside me. I know that I can be someone else. I know that I can transform myself. I know that I have a huge potential inside me. When was that moment?
I have always had a strong belief in myself. And even when I was a really severe drug addict, deep down, I always felt I can be somebody. But when you're on drugs, your personality changes and your self esteem is down to the floor. One of my friends gave me a law of attraction book when I was around 21, before The Secret book even was around. And I read that book and I started using the power of my thought back when I was 21. But again, I was going out and taking drugs still. By the age of 25, I was in a relationship with someone for 5 years and they had a drink problem. And it went from me having to look after myself to having someone I had to take responsibility for because they had problems. So I really had to grow up from the age of 25 to 30. But a big turning point for me was when I joined network marketing and really started working on personal development, investing in myself, working with coaches, seminars, training events, and realizing anyone can be an entrepreneur and anyone can build success. It's just about taking small steps every day towards your end destination and working on your belief systems.
Exactly. And I love that you touch your belief systems because very often people are not aware of this at all. They are not aware of how important our belief systems are. And even more crucially, they are not aware what their limiting beliefs are. And they think that this is just part of their personality. They don't know that they have just been conditioned by their experiences, by their upbringing, whatever this experience were, to believe that they are not enough, to believe that they are not enough to have the job they want, the lover they want, the family they want, and we create prisons ourselves in our own lives. So that's why I just feel it's so important that you share your story. And it was one of my questions, why you think it's important to share our stories, but you've already covered this very beautifully. So if someone goes through challenging times right now and they think that right now I've hit rock bottom and I don't see light at the end of the tunnel, I don't see how I can get myself out of this situation, I feel lonely, maybe depressed, how can this person actually shift their mindset? What can they actually do when their brain keeps telling them that you can't do it and their thoughts are very negative, or even worse, they're surrounded by people, environment that is also negative?
Great question, Effie. I really like that question. Firstly, rock bottom is a good place to be in certain situations. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom because there is only one place to go when you hit rock bottom, and that's up. I would say, firstly, have a look at your associations. Who are you surrounded by? It really is true. People will either lift you up and drag you down or drag you down. When I give up crack cocaine and heroin, I moved up away from all the people that were dragging me down. I take full responsibility that I chose to take the drugs, but your associations do influence you. Have a look at your circle of people and ask yourself the question, would you swap places with those people? Because if the answer's no, it's time to change your circle. Also, you have to admit you have a problem. If you don't admit you've got a problem, you will never move forwards. I admitted I had a problem. If you want to create anything, I've got some systems, if that's okay, Effie, that I would like to share.
I'd love to. Thank you so much for that.
Firstly, gratitude, visualization, and meditation. It's so simple, but it works. Every day and every night before I go to sleep and when I wake up, I list in my mind every single thing what I'm grateful for. from the shirt on my back, from the air that I breathe, my pet dog, the food that I eat, the water that I drink, the cells in my body, the air that I breathe. These are all things that people take for granted. Everyone has got something to be grateful for. So every day, start going through everything in your mind, what you are grateful for. And I promise you, when you start doing gratitudes every day, more and more things will come into your life to be grateful of. I then go to visualization and I visualize the person I want to become. I visualize where I want to be. If you think of an Olympic gold medalist, they visualize themselves winning the race before the day of the race. It's exactly the same with whatever you would like to achieve, visualization. But I always say as well, don't spend too much time there because everything happens in the present moment. So spend a little time visualizing your future, but come straight back to being in the present moment. And then meditation is so important. A minimum of 10 minutes a day is medically proven to improve brain function. It's so important to meditate, and I only do 10 minutes a day, but it drastically improves the way I think, the way I act, and the way that I feel. Once you start doing visualization, gratitudes, and meditation, journaling really helps to reprogram the subconscious mind. Every little success, what you have achieved in the day, everything what you are grateful for in the day, the results you would like to achieve in the day. Start to journal because it's programming your mind and overcoming all of those negative beliefs. So, gratitude, visualization, meditation, and journaling, a little bit of exercise too. I take my dog on a 15-minute to 30-minute dog walk. It gets the endorphins going around the body. And watching your diet and drinking fresh, clean, natural mineral water. I don't drink tap water because I don't agree with fluoride in water. So I recommend fresh, clean water and a good, healthy, clean diet. So I would like to talk a little bit about how to change your life. Have a look at your values and are you living by your values every day? So choose 4 or 5 values what you feel are your strongest values. My values are honesty, trust, loyalty, love, and helping others. Now, if you're going in a business relationship, a collaboration, building a friendship, make some questions out of your values. So let me give you an example. Out of my values, if I'm going into a friendship, a collaboration, I ask myself a few questions alongside my values. Do I feel like this person is coming from an honest place? Do I feel like me and this person can build a relationship of trust? Is this person coming from a loving place? And will this opportunity be helping others? By making questions out of your values when you go into relationships with people, collaborations, business partnerships, if your values resonate, you are that is a recipe for long-term success because your values resonate. And also you can research your values with business associates, um, really good friends, family members, and ask them about your values. So you could say to one of your friends, What does being honest mean to you? How does honesty feel to you? How do you see honesty? And by doing this with your friends, business partners, people you collaborate with, family members, you can see how they interpret your values, and then you can look at your values and ask yourself, am I living by these values every day? Because you really understand how much those values matter to other people and how much detail there is in those values, and it's really important to dig deep with your values. Also, belief systems. We are all programmed like a computer from the ages of being born up until the age of 5 is where we program the most. And a lot of our negative thinking comes from our past. And the only way we can change our belief systems is through repetition. So start choosing new, empowering belief systems. So, with repetition and changing our belief systems, you can create any reality that you would like. And my little circle of how I tie it all together is look at your values, change your belief systems, which will lead to better choices, which in time with repetition will lead you to a reality of success. And that's what I teach.
Amazing. I'm so glad that grateful that you mentioned values and you touched belief systems as well. I wish this content actually was taught at schools. So from early on, children were able to identify what's important to them in life, and then they would start step by step making conscious decisions. And this is something, of course, some work that I do with my clients from the very beginning they start work with me, because what I'm saying to them is if you don't consciously choose to live your life by your values, then your subconscious mind will keep taking over your life. And basically, your subconscious mind will keep replicating all your fears, and your life will be built on in a golden cage. And that's why very often we chase goals in life, and when we achieve them we realize actually these goals had nothing to do with what I really really want in my life.
I agree totally. And also, Effie, I would like to mention collaboration too. In this world, in business especially, it's a very dog eat dog world, and there are a lot of big egos, people that say they're one thing and they're not living up to who they truly say they are. Be a person of collaboration. How can you add value into other people's lives? Don't be selfish. Don't just think about how you can help yourself. How can you collaborate with others? How can you add value to others? And a world of collaboration, everybody thrives. It does not need to be a world of dog eat dog, selfish ways. Everyone can collaborate together, help each other, and thrive. So have a look on Facebook at what other people are doing. Make comments, be interested in others, and never be jealous of other people's success. Look at others to be inspired by them. Look at others for inspiration, and look at others' success to say, well, if they can do it, I can do it. What can I take from them to learn and grow myself? There's too many big egos in this industry, and there's too many people walking the talk and not talking the talk. And myself as a leader, I will never be one of those people. I'm genuine, I'm honest, and I am going to be a leader that leads by example because I want to lift people up and not be jealous of people and try and put them down.
Thank you so much for mentioning this. And I have to say that I couldn't agree more. Um, Especially when I started my coaching journey a year and a half ago. At the beginning, when I started going to many personal development events, and 2 months later, I felt so discouraged, and I thought I don't belong here because I see people that they do not walk their talk. And I thought that this was the norm. I thought, I can't do that. And I was so discouraged that I would start thinking of something alternative. I thought coaching probably is not for me. And then two things happened. Number one, I thought, Effie, if you don't like something, try to change it. Don't quit. Because the concept of personal development is amazing. So but it's about what you do with it. It's not the actual concept, bad or good. It's like everything in life, money, science. You can use it for good and bad reasons, but it's your responsibility to just act based on who you are. And the second thing happened also. I started. I became more conscious as well myself and more skeptical, and I started realizing who's actually is aligned with my values, which is also about integrity and honesty. And this changed my life. And it's about taking responsibility, which you also mentioned earlier on. Um, just give up judging. Anyone can do whatever they want in life, but now it's about my time about to take ownership of my life and take responsibility. And if I don't like something, I have the power to change it, especially in collaboration with others who are aligned with my vision.
I agree totally. You can't change other people, but you can change yourself. And once you start focusing inwards on your own goals and your own dreams and become a better person, a person of collaboration, you will attract all good people. There are people out there, they're not who they say they are, but just don't focus on it. Don't be trapped into that energy of other people. Focus inwards on your own goals, and all those good people will be attracted to you. And I'd like to share a little way of looking at it as well.
Of course, yes, thank you.
Be a street performer. If you think of a street performer, they will be on the streets playing their music, playing their violin, playing their saxophone. The crowds just walk by. Nobody takes any notice of them. But that street performer carries on regardless. And eventually, one person stops. And as soon as that one person stops, a crowd forms. Whatever you want to attract, be the street performer. Don't focus on what's going on the outside. Focus inwards on your own goals, your own dreams, your own end destination. And eventually, one person will stop, a crowd will form. What you are focusing on will show up, with the one missing link, which is taking massive action. As soon as you get an inspired thought, take massive action. I really am a big person of action. I enjoy what I do, and I work really, really hard.
Exactly. And this is something that is missing very often in different recipes that we find online. We talk a lot about law of attraction, which personally, of course, I love. There's a lot of power and truth in the law, but very often people get manipulated because they get the impression that, okay, I just need to visualize full stop, and I will find the love of my life. I will create my business. But the key thing is that you have, in addition to everything else that we mentioned in the beginning, your wonderful system is also to take massive action and consistent as well.
And also investing. I do apologise. I think I froze there.
A little bit.
Also investing in yourself. I have invested over £19,000 in my own personal development. I've worked with top business coaches, top entrepreneurs. I've gone to training seminars, events. It's really important to work with others who can take you where you want to go and learn from them. At the moment, I'm working with a life coach. I've got a voice coach working on my accent. I'm also working on my speaking business with coaches. I am always improving and working on myself and working on improving what I do. So never be afraid to seek help of others.
And given that ourselves is the only person in the world that is with us from the very beginning to the very end, it's very surprising that people don't usually invest in themselves. They prefer to spend money on luxury products or having a new car or buying a new handbag, which of course everything is great. However, they don't choose to spend money on investing in themselves, on their personal development, personal growth, whatever this means to everyone. So I think it's very important to really highlight how investing in yourself can actually transform your life for the better. In addition to, of course, taking action and not just expecting of receiving information and then not implementing.
Personal development is a lifelong journey. It never stops. That's great because wherever you get on the success ladder, there's always another step what you can go to. Personal development is ongoing. All these steps I've talked about, there's something that you have to work on every single day. I meditate every day. I journal every day. I do my gratitude, visualization, meditation. I listen to podcasts. I do my training on my coaching programs. I would much rather do that than be sitting and watching soaps on television or watching mainstream news. I use my spare time to work on myself and keep on improving.
Amazing. And this is how we walk our talk. Exactly. It's what we teach our clients to do, what we teach our loved ones, especially living by example. So, Mark, would you like now to talk a little bit about what you do and how you help others?
Okay, so I'm a professional speaker and I help struggling entrepreneurs to build a mindset and belief systems that lead them into a new reality of success. So I speak very much about self-leadership and transformation and give struggling entrepreneurs the toolkit to help lead them into a reality of success. I'm an author. My book is called Tips to Create the Life You Desire, and it's my personal story. And the second half of the book is all personal development based of how to move forwards in business and in life. And I'm also a public speaking coach. I'm called the Brilliant Speaker Coach, and I help aspiring and established speakers that feel stuck to move forwards, make progress, and to build and monetize their speaking business and help them not to make all the mistakes I have made along the year and a half. I give them all the steps, what they need to be doing to build a successful speaking business.
Amazing. And it's also very amazing that you actually want to teach the mistakes you've made from the past. Many people prefer not to do it. They have these secret formulas, but it's amazing that you decided that you want to share and help others to to achieve what you have achieved.
Yes, I love helping others. I am passionate of working with speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs, and business owners to use their story, share their message. I believe everybody's got a message to share, and everyone can use their voice to build their business, no matter what that business is. Everyone has a strong message what they can share that will help others, that will help them to grow their own businesses.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. It's the power of storytelling as well. So, Mark, if someone wants to get in touch with you to find out more about your services and how you can help people, how can they contact you?
People can contact me. I'm on Facebook. I'm happy for people to send me a inbox message on Facebook. Also, if they want to personal message me, LinkedIn is a great place to do that. I'm on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn and YouTube. But the best way to look at what I do is go to www.markstephenpooler.com. All my links to my social media are on the website. And also, Effie, I will mention I've got a group for aspiring and established speakers and coaches, entrepreneurs, business owners that want to use the art of public speaking. It's called Brilliant Speaker. So, what I will do, I will post the link to my website and I will post the link to my Facebook community, Brilliant Speaker, too.
Amazing. Please add them into the comments because that way people will be easier for them to find you. So I would like to thank you so much, Mark. You have been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for sharing from your heart and for sharing your story with us. I'm 100% sure that whoever is going to listen to your story, they will be so much inspired and they will find so much strength to take action and lead their lives where they want to take them. You are brilliant, and I'm sure that we will be in touch for a face-to-face catch up. So, because I really want to find out more about you as well.
We will definitely keep in touch, Effie. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your Facebook show. I've really enjoyed it. And I just want to say a quick hello to Emilio. Thank you so much, Emilio, for watching today. And thank you. And yes, I definitely want to be coming to America to do some speaking. Thank you for having me on your show today, Effie.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening, and everyone else have a very good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. And of course, I will see you everyone next Wednesday at 8 p.m. with another amazing guest. Have a very good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.